We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekday morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how a Bitcoin ETF approval could be coming as soon as today or tomorrow. We've been looking at January the 2nd and January the 3rd for weeks, i.e. obviously months now, for a potential approval for the Bitcoin BlackRock Spot ETF. That approval could be coming at any point in time now. And many people are starting to realize that. And as such, we've seen a huge rally on Bitcoin pushing towards new yearly highs, which, as my wife pointed out this morning, is not very hard because it is the second, but new highs for this overall bull market that we've been in. We have hit nearly $46,000. Right now, Bitcoin is trading at 45.2. All of your precious altcoin holdings are at yearly and local highs. And so your portfolio is probably doing very well right now. If you've been watching our stream for the last 2 or 3 months, I've been preparing you on how to invest and get ready for this movement. And many of you guys, if you've done that, go ahead and move on up in the world a little bit. Chair. Many of you guys, if you've been doing that, have made considerable gains on paper so far. And I do believe that this is going to be an exceptionally bullish period in time. And I think that we very well may see a huge breakout on Bitcoin coming relatively soon from the ETF approval. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and start reading names. We have just gotten started, and we've already got almost 300 people in chat. There we go. Moving on up in the world. We've got MM coming in first. We got Marley 121st, 123st coming in second. One House Productions said, yes. His boy Elroy's in chat. Joe Bollier, Ricky Singh, The French Toast Breakfast Club is in chat. Eric Topastico is in chat. Jordan Gonzalez Vlogs is in chat. Chris Phipps is in chat. Jason Hahn, Crypto Mini Bike. Eric again, Max Tichau, The Drake Equation, Grand Roofing Incorporated, Zero Ducky Entertainment, Stephen Alexander, Mike Lowry, Rocket Metal News, Shadrach Frost, Richard Jacobson, Dropped Internet Connection, The Oct, Happy Mac, Aaron M, Kenneth Bataglia, there we go. Nicholas is Aquariums, Rave Song Records, Abu is in chat, Izzy2K, K-Man GTR, Kenneth, Tom Leon, Dropped Internet Connection, Ricky Singh, and Jay. All right, boom. Got through all of them. Ton of you guys in chat. Holy cow. We've got a lot to talk about today, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Let's go ahead and jump on over to Bitcoin. On CoinMarketCap, take a look at its price. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at a nearly 2-year high at $45,200, up over 6% in the last 7 days. Ethereum is up almost 6% in the last 7 days. But more importantly, in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin is up 6%, Ethereum up nearly 3%. And that, of course, has sent the altcoins into an absolute rampage. One of those rampaging altcoins is none other than Solana, which has just broken into the top 4. That's right, guys. Solana has flippened Binance. Solana is up 5.54% in the last 24 hours, having a small correction over the last hour, as much of the market has been correcting over just the last 12 hours or so, but it has rallied considerably in the last 24 and is broken above BNB, which notably has been left out of this rally. XRP is up about 1% in the last day, but about 1% down in the last hour, so much of its rally has been eaten up by the bears. Cardano sitting at nearly 62 cents, up 2.45% in the last 24 hours, reaching a high of about 63 cents, looking like a major rally could be coming there soon. Avalanche sitting at $40, still up 3.53%. Polkadot's rallying, Tron's rallying, Matic is rallying, Chainlink is up, Toncoin, Sheeb. ICP is down. It is slightly correcting, but it is up 40% in the last 7 days, so it needed a correction anyway. Bitcoin Cash is down, as it should be. I'm not a hater of anything. I don't have hatred in my heart, but I tell you what, I am about as close as you can get to it on Bitcoin Cash. I'm not a fan. Near Protocol's in chat. Near Protocol is up 10%. Pretty excited about that project. We're holding some of that. HBAR is doing well, also holding some HBAR. VeChain is doing well. Pretty much everything is doing very well this morning, as you would expect from a total market rally. And there are a bunch of different reasons why this rally is occurring. I want to break down all the different reasons why this rally is occurring to kind of answer some of those questions, because I know many of you guys are going to be wondering, why is this rally happening? Where are we going to go next? And I know many of you guys are going to want some information on how we can profit from this movement. If you are just tuning in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We got a lot of content coming up. So why is this rally happening? Well, there are a bunch of different reasons I'm going to run through really quickly, and then we're going to get to the most important reason, which is the actual thing that we titled and planned this stream around, and that would, of course, be the ETF. But before we get to that, there are a few other critically important variables that are contributing to this major rally on Bitcoin as well. First and foremost, the United States stock market is at all-time high. And of course, we are painting a gargantuan ascending triangle pattern, as you can see right here. It's very easy to see right here, the uptrending level of support that we have down here on the support levels for the S&P 500. We've got our flat level of resistance up here at 480. S&P is likely going to be breaking all-time high in no time. It is having a small correction right now, but I'm wondering if some of the value that is flowing out of the S&P 500 is going right into Bitcoin. You've got to wonder. I think that some of it might be. Now, another part of the reason why Bitcoin is going through such a large rally right now has to do with the DXY, the dollar currency index. The dollar currency index is a index that tracks the strength of the United States dollar against a basket of other world currencies, and it measures, again, the strength of the dollar, and the dollar has been gradually losing strength for the last 18 months. That has a lot to do with the way that the United States recovered quicker than the rest of the world from the pandemic. The United States went through a very rapid recovery as a result of the CARES Act, the stimulus, the fact that we are the end point of most global manufacturing supply chains, but we've been having a major correction on DXY ever since, and that has reversed slightly in the last 3 or 4 days, but generally speaking, there's a downtrend on DXY, which has been bullish for Bitcoin. Now, of course, we've also got the FOMC pausing interest rates. That is a big deal because those interest rates are likely going to come down next year, and that's been almost a month now since we got news that the FOMC was going to pause rates pretty much for good, and that's enough time, especially here at the end of the annual planning season. Many businesses are doing their planning in December and on into early January for the next year. Many of those businesses are taking into account, okay, debt's going to be cheaper in 12 months, so what can we plan for right now that we can finance 12 months from now, that we can build out 2 years from now? That is an extremely bullish outlook for the United States stock market. That leads to an incentive to invest in the stock market, but also in the risk-on assets, which is where you're seeing some of the investment coming into Bitcoin right now. And all of that leads us to a very bullish undertone for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, even if we did not have the following news story. SEC could inform spot Bitcoin ETF applicants of approval by January 3rd. Firms may be notified on Tuesday or Wednesday to prepare for a January 10th launch. That is a week from tomorrow. This is a very, very exciting and bullish story. If you guys have not already heard about this, then we're going to need to go ahead and talk about it. The United States' main security regulator could inform spot Bitcoin ETF applicants of approval in the coming days, Reuters said a few days ago. There's been a big story floating around from Reuters that there could very well soon be an approval coming as early as today, that is Tuesday, January the 2nd, or Wednesday, January the 3rd, that they have their clearance to launch exchange-traded funds. As I said here, this would reportedly give applicants time to prepare for a launch on January the 10th. So this is a huge story that we've seen come out of Reuters, and the thing you need to keep in mind about Reuters is one of the largest news companies in the entire world. They've got, gosh, I remember looking into Reuters because we were working with Reuters at one point. We were actually publishing some stuff there. And Reuters is, here on Wikipedia, I'll just have it better than my memory will have, 172 years old, 2,500 journalists. I do believe that they're worth tens of billions of dollars. I don't know if that's going to show it here in I don't know if that's going to show it here on Wikipedia, but Reuters is a gargantuan company. They're one of the largest companies on the face of the planet when it comes to news. So if Reuters is reporting this, they generally speaking are going to have some pretty solid insight on this. They know people at the SEC. They have the connections that are needed to try and find out information about things like this. If they believe that a approval could be coming that soon, then it very well may be coming that soon. And it seems to be to me, that rhymed. It seems to be to me that the undertone of bullishness in cryptocurrency compounded with the technical analysis that we did yesterday. If you remember, yesterday we laid out two different scenarios on Bitcoin, and I told you the bullish scenario was my pick. It was the one I thought was more likely, but of course there is always an opportunity for bearishness. We ended up seeing the bullish scenario play out within just a few hours of that stream concluding. About 4 hours later, Bitcoin started breaking bullish. And part of the reason that Bitcoin is rallying so aggressively right here is because of that undertone of bullishness, but also because of the ETF hype. Many people are starting to think, okay, the ETF is right around the corner, let me get in now. I've been encouraging you guys to do that for the last couple of months. When that ETF comes, we are going to see Bitcoin absolutely smash these ceilings. I think that Bitcoin is going to go to $50,000 at least on ETF approval news. Some people disagree with me on that. There's plenty of back and forth in the cryptocurrency space right now on whether you're going to see a huge rally on Bitcoin when ETF is approved or not. From what I'm seeing in the chart, I'm leaning in the direction that we're going to see a major rally, partially because every time we get wind that the ETF might be getting approved or we have fake news that it was approved, Bitcoin rallies like $2,000 in a couple of hours. We rallied over $3,000 yesterday on Bitcoin on the hope that we're going to see the Bitcoin BlackRock spot ETF approved this week. Similarly, back in the beginning of October, you'll remember that Bitcoin rallied $2,000 in 8 minutes following fake news coming out of Cointelegraph that we had seen the approval. Of course, we hadn't seen the approval, but now we think we're actually going to see the approval. And something I also want to mention over here, is the stock market. Coinbase's stock is on a tear right now. Coinbase's stock is moonshotting. This is absurd. Coinbase's market capitalization is more than doubled, almost tripled in 60 days. You don't see this in the stock market very often. Now, if you're going to see it in the stock market, where are you going to see it? You're probably going to see it in crypto. Coinbase is absolutely going crazy right now because of the number of signups. There's so much enthusiasm. There's so much interest coming into the cryptocurrency space right now that it's hard for it not to go on a tear. Same thing with MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is moonshotting. This is the linear chart. This is not the logarithmic chart. This is the linear chart. This is the new bull market starting. MicroStrategy is absolutely moonshotting, up 140% in the last 90 days. If you guys have not already taken positions in coin and MicroStrategy, it may be a little bit late, but there probably is some more bullishness to come. As for Bitcoin, now we get down to the actual technical analysis on our favorite cryptocurrency, that of course being Bitcoin. I have a couple of concerns here. Not going to lie, I have a couple of concerns. The first concern is that Bitcoin only managed to break a few $100s above its previous high, about $1,000 above its previous high. Bitcoin had previously rallied to 44,800, depending on the exchange. Some exchanges were showing it as one level, some exchanges were showing it as another level. Coffee break. But nevertheless, Bitcoin had rallied to about 44.8. Bitcoin only rallied to about 45.8, only about $1,000 higher than it had gone. That is concerning to me because there have been multiple times in recent memory on Bitcoin that we've broken a local high and we've just absolutely exploded beyond it immediately. A good example is here when we broke above $31,800. We immediately rallied to almost $35,500, $3,000 higher. Similarly over here, when we finally actually broke this zone around 35 to 35.6, we rallied $2,500 higher. When we finally broke this zone over here around 38,000, we rallied almost $7,000. Here, we only rallied to about the 1.5% Fibonacci extension. If you remember to yesterday's stream, we used Fibonacci extension, and we predicted that the first stop would be between 46,000 and 46,400. We mentioned that. I take that back. I don't know if I actually mentioned the Fibonacci extension on stream, but this is something that we were looking at yesterday. I should have mentioned it. But we had this zone right up here on the Fibonacci extension that we were kind of looking at. We have a bunch of different resistance levels that we have talked about that are above Bitcoin. Some of those include the longer-term levels of resistance that we set during the previous bear market. One of those would be right here at 48,282. And one of those would also be on the logarithmic chart where we have Fibonacci retracement with the resistance level sitting right up here at 50,200. These are two different resistance levels that we're looking at. Those are a good bit higher than us. But one thing that I know we talked about yesterday was Lux Algo. Lux Algo has been giving us some price targets because we've been in a buy signal. We've had a buy signal for quite some time. We've had a confirmed buy signal for a very long time, actually. We've been under a confirmed buy signal on daily chart Lux Algo ever since back here, and we were only in a sell signal for 1 day. So Lux Algo's buy signal has been almost ubiquitous for the last 4 months, and the take profit was between 46.5 and 49.2. I know we talked about that yesterday, and we said that Bitcoin would likely go to somewhere in the middle of this take profit zone. The interesting thing to note here is that with Bitcoin's rally that we're currently experiencing, Bitcoin touched the bottom of the reversal zone. Lux Algo is an absolutely incredible technical indicator. I have been using it every day, doing my analysis for over 3 years now, and I tell you what, I cannot get away from this indicator. It is so good. It is so good, and there's a reason why I show it to you every single day. And I'm also really excited, by the way, to announce. Let me just take a pause really quick and let you guys know. We got a big stream today, so it'd be a good place to share this. I'm very excited to announce that we are working on our own proprietary indicator with Lux Algo. We are building our own indicator, and I've got some of the demos back and some of the first and second iterations back, the drafts, and this thing looks awesome. And it's going to be exclusively available to individuals that sign up for Lux Algo with our code, with our link down below. It will only be accessible to you if you sign up for Lux Algo with our code. It is exclusive to CryptoJeb Lux Algo signups. So stay tuned for that. It's in the beta phases right now. It's in the alpha phases right now, but it looks incredible, and I can't wait to get my hands on it because some of the screenshots I've seen, man, it looks good. I cannot wait. Anyway, back to the regularly scheduled programming. Lux Algo here is pushing into the bottom of the take profit. And with the bottom of the take, Lux Algo is Bitcoin is pushing into the bottom of the reversal zone. I cannot speak today. Bitcoin is pushing via Lux Algo into the bottom of the Lux Algo reversal zone right here, which is pushing the reversal zone ever higher. You can see the reversal zone is very wide right now. The reversal zone sits here between about $45,600 all the way up to over $50,000. That is very wide because there's been a lot of sideways action. When Bitcoin is aggressively rallying, though the bottom, middle, and top of the Lux Algo reversal zone start to crunch together because they're moving up so aggressively. And so we have seen them start to widen out in reflection of the sideways action that Bitcoin has witnessed. But if Bitcoin is able to maintain its bullishness, then the reversal zone will start to crunch back in on itself, which in and of itself is another bullish variable that we can read from Lux Algo. I do believe at this point that Bitcoin will rally into the take profit between 46.5 and 49.2, although I do have my concerns about that. I do have my concerns that Bitcoin has not rallied as aggressively as it could have. I think we've all seen the analysis from yesterday and the predictions we made. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. If you haven't seen this, yesterday we talked about how there was a high likelihood that we would be returning to $44,800 within a couple of days. Went ahead and happened within a couple of hours of that stream. So if you want to watch that, you can watch that stream from yesterday. I'm going to remove all of this analysis so that we can see a little bit more clearly. One of my concerns here is that Bitcoin only rallied about $1,000 higher, and I really want to see Bitcoin hold up here. I need to see Bitcoin establish this level of resistance at $44,800 as a new level of support. If that does not happen, and Bitcoin does not manage to establish 44.8 as a new level of support, then we are going to have a very difficult time staying up here. If we just fall right back down into the $42,000 to $43,000 region, then all this was a short test. All this was hopium that we might see a major rally coming, but it doesn't actually mean that we've set anything in motion. If Bitcoin is, however, able to hold up here, then we could be seeing the very beginning of a new massive rally. This could be an event similar to what we saw happen here in November of 2023. Where Bitcoin briefly, ever so briefly, punched above $38,000, put a chink in the armor that we would later take advantage of and push $7,000 higher with. If we are able to stay up here, and even if we drop, but especially if we're able to stay up here above our VRVP support, which currently sits at $44,200. If we're able to stay then above 44.2, and I'll switch this to blue and set our support zone. If we are able to stay here above 44.2 to 44.8, my current support zone that I am defining for Bitcoin here, then I think Bitcoin is in excellent territory, and I believe that you will see $50,000 by the end of the month, potentially sooner. Now, if we do fall below there, then we do have one level of support that does have the opportunity to hold us, and that would be this green or yellow. I'm colorblind. Feel free to make fun of me in the chat. I make fun of myself about it all the time. It's okay. I'm not sensitive about it. This uptrending level of support right here, if we fall back down to it, that gives us one more chance to bounce and rally, and if that does happen, It would actually make a lot of sense because it would almost be the exact same chart formation that we built over here, where we had this ascending triangle pattern with an uptrending level of support, broke above it a few times, back tested the uptrend, and then we went on to a massive rally. That kind of is starting to look like the exact same formation that we are drawing right now. All of my analysts out there, I hope you can see the similarities between this formation right here with the multiple tests on the resistance, a couple of tests and breaches above the resistance, back testing the uptrending level of support before finally breaking bullish. That could be the overall trend that we're seeing right now. And conservatively speaking, I am actually more inclined to believe that that's what's going on. I'm more inclined to believe that we're going to see Bitcoin have a correction and rally. But the final piece of analysis that we need to bring in here kind of ties everything that we've talked about today together, and that is this. We've got the fundamental side. We talked about the fundamentals. We talked about how the stock market's at all-time high. We've talked about how the Dixie is mostly dropping. Both of those trends have reversed in the last couple of days, so we need to keep an eye on that. If the stock market starts going through a massive crash and Dixie starts rallying, that's not great for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is positively correlated to the stock market, meaning it moves in the same direction as the stock market more often than not. Negatively correlated to the Dixie, which means it moves in the opposite direction of the Dixie. So if Dixie goes up, stock market goes down. Bitcoin would go down with the stock market. It would go down because it goes against the Dixie. If that trend on Dixie and stocks continue, then we could reasonably expect a small correction on Bitcoin. We've talked about those fundamentals. We've also talked about the technicals, where Bitcoin is broken resistance, is currently using that strong resistance at 44.2 to 44.8 as support. If it can hold up there, then 50K is in the cards. That is the kind of price target that Lux Algo is getting us. Lux Algo is very accurate. Whenever it gives you a price target, it is normally going to come true. So we look at the technicals, we look at the fundamentals. They look bullish, they look great. Worst case scenario, in my opinion, right now is a correction back down to the uptrend at $43,000. But now we have to combine them, and then that's where we realize that, wait a minute, all of this is backseat to the ETF. The next 2 weeks is purely determined by the ETF. We need to understand the technicals, and we need to understand the fundamentals, and they do matter, because once the ETF launches, within about 8 hours, the hype from that launch is probably going to mostly be over, and you're back to doing it via technical analysis. But if that ETF does get approved, I am expecting Bitcoin to go to $50,000 almost immediately. Many people are trying to be contrarians and saying, oh no, it's going to get approved and Bitcoin's going to crash. I don't see that. Every time that the Bitcoin ETF has looked like it was going to become approved, Bitcoin is moonshotted. It just massively rallied. When the ETF was announced by Cointelegraph, and it was wrong back on October 16th, somewhere around there, Bitcoin rallied $2,000 in 8 minutes. When we have this news story from Reuters that came out a couple of days ago that we could be seeing an approval as soon as today or tomorrow, we see a massive rally. I personally don't see anywhere in the technical analysis that we're seeing reason to believe that we're about to see a major drop on Bitcoin. I think that we're going to see Bitcoin's ETF get approved, and I think you're going to see Bitcoin rally. I really do think it's about as simple as that. Some of the other things I want to mention here are the MACD and the RSI. You guys know I love MACD and RSI because I love trying to gauge the strength of the bulls and the bears, and then figure out the levels of support and resistance that are relevant. And then from there, we can very easily ascertain where the market's going to go next. That's kind of the framework for how I look at the markets and the charts. MACD right now is indicating that the bulls are gaining strength aggressively. Obviously, there is a corrective movement that's occurred. Bitcoin's down $800 from the top that we saw just a couple of days ago. But you know what? That's funny. I'm seeing an ETF ad running on our stream right now over here where I'm looking at the chat for Bitcoin. Nevertheless, the bulls are gaining strength, and that's something that we want to keep in mind. Even though there's been an $800 drop out on the daily chart, it just looks like a wick. So the bulls that are looking at the daily chart don't really care about that small drop. What they're seeing is that we're likely going to see a daily candlestick close up above this resistance. If we do see that, that will bring about a bullish MACD cross. We'll also see RSI continuing to push higher. RSI is punched above the 14 interval moving average for the first time in several weeks, indicating bullish confirmation. We bottomed out at 50, which meant that RSI never actually went bearish in the first place. It just became less and less bullish. We're seeing a huge volume candlestick show up on the daily chart as well as on the hourly chart. Yesterday, if you'll remember, we talked about a break above this downtrend would likely bring us to at least $44,000, but probably up to $44,800. And if you do see that happen with large volume, then there is a trading opportunity here. I said if you use 5 to 15x leverage, you could end up making, with the links in the description box down below. A lot of people signing up over there lately and getting access to some trading software that's really going to help you to succeed. But Everything is falling into place for a massive rally moving on into January. 2024 is looking great. And so now, with all of that in mind, I want to talk a little bit today about how we can be prepared for this movement. I want to answer a couple of kind of frequently asked questions. I want to answer some of your questions. So let me frame a question for you to answer, for you to ask questions via. What are some of your concerns about your plan to make money in cryptocurrency moving on into quarter one of 2024? Again, what are some of your concerns about your plan to make money moving on into 2024? Think about it like this. If you are going to come to me, I do financial coaching, so if you're interested, links down below. If you're going to come to me in a financial coaching session and you're going to say, Jeb, I've got this concern. I'm worried about this. Maybe I'm not sure how to do this. I'm not sure how to do that. I'm not sure if I missed the boat on that. What are some of your concerns moving on into 2024? By the way, we just hit over 1,000 concurrent viewers, so shout out to everybody around the world who is currently watching Coffee and Crypto Live. Really excited that you could be here. If you're enjoying today's stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more financial sovereignty and cryptocurrency content. It is my dream, it is my vision to teach you guys how to be successful with your finances and also how to be successful with your investments in the cryptocurrency market. We're going to talk about all of the reservations, all of the fears, all of the concerns that people have in cryptocurrencies right now. First and foremost thing that I want to talk about is whether or not you're too late to be getting into crypto. And a solid answer that I can give you is no. You're not too late to be getting into Bitcoin right now. There is so much opportunity in Bitcoin. I believe, based on the analysis that I've been doing on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets for over 6 years now, that Bitcoin is going to go to well over $100,000 moving on into 2024, and potentially it might take on into 2025. I think that you're going to see Bitcoin go through an absolute meteoric movement, the likes of which we have pretty much never seen, and you're going to see Bitcoin trading in the six figures. I also think that Bitcoin will be legitimized as a legitimate form of investment this bull market in a way that it has never had happen to it before. And so that is going to bring about a large degree of long-term investment where people will start to buy Bitcoin for the long term, not just for the bull market, which will lead to an underlying bedrock of support for the Bitcoin market from which the market can grow. That is how the S&P 500 grows. And you see recessions every once in a while, every 10 to 15 years. But generally speaking, it's just going up and to the right. That's how you get a market to do that. You get enough people to buy into the market and hold it for a decade, for 2 decades, for 30, 40, 50 years. You're starting to see that in Bitcoin. Most people's view on Bitcoin now is not, I'm going to buy for this bull market and I'm going to sell at the top. That's what I'm doing in most of the altcoin positions that we're in right now. Buying for this bull market, we're going to sell a lot of it at the top. We're going to hold on to some of it because they're good entries. Bitcoin, I'm not doing that. I'm going to sell some of my Bitcoin at the top, take some profits, but I'm going to hold on to a lot of it because some of the Bitcoin I got down in the teens, or some of the Bitcoin I have from many years ago back down in the 4 digits, like $8,000 entries, I'm never seeing those again. Those are gone. Those are in history. So what do we do when we reach the top? We're going to cycle out, especially some of the positions that this is their first bull market. This is their second bull market. Cycle out, take some profits, hold on to that cash, keep it in reserve, put it in a high yield savings account, put it into a bond. I don't care what it is. Just put it somewhere where it's earning something, even if it's 2%. You can stick it in the stock market if you want, but then wait and look for opportunities. There's a huge bull market going on in the traditional markets right now. You can put it into the stock market. I'm personally going to cycle out some profits, and we're thinking about putting it into real estate. We're going to see what happens. But are you too late to get into this bull market? No, not at all. This is just the start. We've got another 3 to 16 months of huge bullishness. It's possible that it just takes off like that and instantly Bitcoin is massive, is sitting at over $100,000. That could happen, in which case we better hurry up and make our investments right now. But I'm more inclined to believe that we will see a large breakout rally up to all-time high, and then it might take a little bit longer to get up to $100,000. But there is going to be a massive rally, and I cannot wait to be on that journey with you guys. So that's the first question I kind of wanted to see the conversation with. You guys are asking a bunch of questions over here as well, so I will go ahead and answer some of those. If you're enjoying today's stream and you want to share this stream with somebody else, the best thing you can do is to hit the like button so YouTube knows to push it out to all of the people on YouTube that are looking for cryptocurrency content. So if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And by the way, I do also want to let you know, before we get into the rest of our questions, that today's episode of Coffee and Crypto Live is sponsored by none other than the very, very, very famous NordVPN. Very excited to have them as an affiliate, as a sponsor for the Crypto Jeb YouTube channel. We've been working with them for a very long time. I've been working with them for a very long time, long before we ever had them as a sponsor. I love their product for 2 very simple reasons. They focus on browsing the internet safely and freely. And if you know anything about crypto and you know anything about this philosophy that I am constantly preaching called financial sovereignty, then you will know that that is in perfect alignment with our mission and our vision. Our vision is to help millions of people reach financial sovereignty, which is the opposite of financial bondage. I don't want you being told what to do with every single penny. I don't want you losing your money to hackers. I don't want you having to give all of your money away to debt payments. I don't want you to have to sacrifice the life that you could have because you are not being a good steward of your wealth. I want to help you steward your wealth well and grow it well so that you have treasures that you can give to your descendants. I want you to be like what the Bible calls a good man that is able to give his treasures to his descendants. Being rich does not make you a good person, but wisdom will bring about wealth if you build it the right way. And I know that you can do that, but I also know that if you're not careful, you can lose it. And NordVPN is going to help you to browse the internet freely, so you're not being told what to do. But also, and I would argue what's even closer to home, is it's going to help you do it safely so that you don't have hackers coming in and stealing your money. This is not to say that you can just write your password down and put it up on a television commercial like the dude from LifeLock put a social security number up there saying, my social security will never get stolen. I'll never have this happen because I have LifeLock. I'm the CEO of LifeLock. And then the IRS jumps on him. Not the IRS. Well, yes, the IRS, but also Social Security jumps on like, dude, you've had your Social Security number stolen 13 times. You need to stop this. Like, stop those ads now. Quit it because we have to deal with this. You're giving us work. I'm not saying do that, but if you're being responsible with your passwords and your login credentials and everything, there are still things that can go sideways, and NordVPN is going to help to protect you guys from those things. So make sure that you stay tuned and that you sign up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below. Pete Schwartz said NordVPN sovereignty. That's right. All right, question and answer time. My favorite part of the stream. I love getting to interact with you guys. Shadrach Frost said over 1,000 folks in chat, and we have about less than 200 likes. Folks, please take a moment and smash the like button. Give back the love and support that Jeb brings to us on a daily basis. Thanks. Thank you so much, Shadrach. Many of you guys are asking about taxes. I'm not going to be answering questions on taxes because that is something that I would definitely recommend that you go and talk to a CPA on because it gets complicated. I'd like to talk about more things taxes related in the future, but I'm going to try and be careful with that. Hugo said, know your customer information, getting taxes. A lot of cryptocurrency exchanges at this point and a lot of different services are starting to generate the forms that you need for your taxes automatically. That's one of the things that comes with Coinbase One. I have Coinbase One. I use it because I like their interface and I don't want to have to deal with the massive fees. So I pay $29.99 a month on Coinbase because I like their user interface. I'm willing to take the little bit of a slippage for the sake of making it simple because I'm trying to integrate it into my overall life. And they will automatically do the tax forms for you. Let's see if I can show you. I'm not sure because I haven't used it yet, right? Because this is the first year that I'm doing it. But there is a way that you can do it in Coinbase One. If anybody knows where in the website it is, then you can tell me. But there are, I don't think I can show this on stream. But yes, okay. Cool. So yeah, it'll show it over here. I'm not going to show it because it's showing, you know, confidential information and whatnot. But it'll show you the gain. It'll show you the documents, pre-filed gains, losses, tax reports. So I mean, the year just ended. Okay, so good. So yeah, if you have Coinbase One, it'll auto-generate a lot of the files that you actually need. That's one of the things I like about Coinbase. Not affiliated with Coinbase. I would love to work with Coinbase. I've been using them since the start. That's where I bought my first cryptocurrency. But as far as proper filing for taxes, generally speaking, you can talk to a CPA that knows their stuff about crypto, which is becoming easier to find, thankfully. And they're going to ask for certain forms. Many of the exchanges will auto-generate those forms at this point. And if you're new to crypto and you don't understand the taxes, not a bad idea to stick to exchanges that will auto-generate those forms. Now, sometimes you're going to have to do things on exchanges that don't do that, but that does help. Shadrach Frost said, as a CT2A member, I cannot stress enough how investing in my knowledge helped me to make better decisions. I would highly recommend others to consider CT2A, the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, and invest in your education. Thank you so much, Shadrach Frost. For those of you guys who don't know, CT2A is the one-stop shop to learn everything that you need to know about technical analysis. I'm a technical analyst. I've been doing technical analysis on cryptocurrency markets for years, and if you sign up For CT2A, you will be getting access to over 45 high-quality educational videos and over 10 hours of content teaching you to become a technical analyst so that you can understand how to read these markets and profit in them. Every time I sit down and do a financial coaching call with somebody, they are talking to me about how they're implementing technical analysis into their decisions so they can make better investments. Some of these people are doing 5-6-figure investments, and they need to know what they're doing, so they're using technical analysis for it. And by the way, in case you're interested, we did just set up Affirm over here. You can actually use Affirm to do payments on the lifetime access. If you want to get CT2A with lifetime access, it looks like they will break it down to $63 a month, 0% APR. So if you're interested, you can get lifetime access with that. You can also get the annual subscription right here. So make sure to check all of that out. All right, let's read some actual questions here. When will approved Bitcoin approve? Amal Padel said. Next Wednesday is the deadline. I believe it can be extended one more time. I think it's going to be approved before then, though. I think we're going to be seeing an approval coming very, 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 very soon. But absolutely no one knows for sure. But let's not call it a dumb question. That's not very nice. Pete Schwartz said, "Get NordVPN. LifeLock sucks." That's sad. I kind of feel bad for LifeLock because that dude was very confident. The CEO. I got to show you this. I've got to find it. Oh, gosh. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to show it because they've literally got his social security number. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm not showing this on stream. I'm not showing this on stream because I don't want to I actually don't. Goodness gracious. Okay, so I see his social security number. Wow. My social security number is ... I am Todd Davis, CEO of LifeLock. Here's my social security number. He showed his social security card. Oh, my goodness. And he resigned amid controversy. Whew. Don't be like that guy. Don't be like that guy. Brand disasters, LifeLock's advertising fail. Yeah, he went for it, and he failed for it. Chainlink price prediction at peak. Yeah, let's look at Chainlink. I think the Chainlink is going to be probably over $50. Chainlink does such a unique thing. Being able to bring chains together. It is a very, very unique project in the cryptocurrency space, and I do believe that it's going to go to over $50. I think it's probably going to more than double, to be honest with you, with everything that it's doing. Not going to get too much into that right now, but I do think it's going to at least 3x, probably more like 5 or 10x. Does the Bitcoin halving affect altcoins like ADA? Yeah, because it's going to lead Bitcoin to a massive rally, and it's going to lead Bitcoin into a massive rally, and that's going to lead the altcoins into a massive rally. So yes, it absolutely will. What are the signs that the ETF has been approved, other than the obvious that is? Perry Portana said. Great question. In fact, he said, "Hey, Jeb. Hey, Perry. I got you." There are a lot of signs that it's already in the works of being approved. Many of those had to do with the SEC working out some final details about in-kind redemptions from BlackRock and many others. They finally settled on the fact that it would only be a cash redemption, which essentially means that if you go and you turn in your ETF, you can't get Bitcoin out of it, you get cash out of it. So that is one facet that was kind of an indication that an approval was coming. The SEC would not have been trying to figure out all of the intricacies of the contract if they were going to just deny it anyway. Negotiations didn't fall through on that. They met an agreement. BlackRock is going to go with cash redemptions, so is everybody else. And there is that's very bullish. Another thing, there's been a lot of conference calls between the SEC and multiple different ETF applicants at the same time. And so those ETF applicants all meeting together with the SEC is a good sign that they're actually interested in approving multiple of them, if not all of them. Many other things, this Reuters report is a big sign that an ETF approval is probably coming. Reuters knows what they're talking about. There are a lot of signs that it's right around the corner. Shadrach Frost, who's been a member for over 2 years now, said, "It's 2024, and I am excited to be a small part of this awesome channel. Thank you, Jeb and family, for your hard work to help us reach #FinSov. God bless." Thank you so much, Shadrach Frost. For any of you guys who don't know, FinSov is the overarching goal that I'm trying to help you guys achieve. It's called financial sovereignty, and essentially it means to be in control of your money, your possessions, and your time, specifically your money, though. I know so many people, and I have been the person many points in my life where my finances rule me. I am in control. They are in control of me. The lack of finances or the mismanagement of finances or the loss of finances, whatever it is, have controlled my life, and damaged my walk here in the world. And I think it's very important that we reach for a state of being financially sovereign, of being in control of our finances. The very first thing that God ever commanded us to do, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, he says, "And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." The very first command that was ever given was, "Be fruitful and multiply." After that, "and replenish the earth." Why? Because the next commandment says, "and subdue it." What does subdue mean? Subdue means to bring under control. It means to dominate, not in a tyrannical way. I'm not talking about Third Reich kind of way. That's not what I mean. But it means to be in control of. It means to be a faithful and a good steward of. In the same way that I am sovereign over my 3-year-old. I tell him to go somewhere, and he goes somewhere. I love him, and I give him hugs, and I care about him, and we have a great relationship. He loves his daddy. He loves running up to me. We have an awesome relationship. I am not a tyrant over him, and I'm not trying to hurt him. But I am in control of him, and I am stewarding his growth and trying to help him become a man after God's own heart. We, in the similar way, need to steward our finances in a way where we are in control over them, not so that we can tyrannize them, not so that we can use them to tyrannize others, but so that we can be the ones that are accountable for the way that they are grown. Jesus gives us the parable of the mind of investment. I'll just use, people say the minds and the talents, but the investment essentially. Different stewards were given money, and one grew it a certain amount. One grew at 5x, one grew at 10x. One person hid it in the ground and said, "Well, I know that you're a harsh servant, so I buried it in the ground." He was the one that was cast down to outer darkness. We are called to grow our wealth. We're called to do it in integrity and in morality. I am not saying go swindle people and be greedy. I'm not saying to love money. I'm not saying that at all. That is a downfall of man. But we are called to grow it. And the way that we are called to grow it is by first subduing it. And then we do it with meekness, God's way. And if we do that, our life will be better. Other people's lives will be better. And more importantly than any of that, we will be the salt and light of the earth. And people will see our good works, and they will glorify our Father which is in heaven. That's why I care about you guys stewarding your wealth well. Because especially for the Christians that are watching, and it's okay if you're not a Christian, I love you. You're totally fine to be here. Especially for the Christians watching. When people see your good and Christ-like stewardship of your finances, they will glorify your Father which art in heaven, so long as you point the glory back to him. So yes, do we need financial sovereignty? Absolutely. Whether you're a Christian or not, it is going to make your life substantially better being the one that is controlling and leading your finances, not the other way around. That's what we're all about here. Cryptocurrency investment is a large part of the way that I talk about getting there, but you can get there without cryptocurrency. It's about controlling your finances. Crypto is a way to grow your finances. It's also a way to render control back over financial systems that the control has been taken from you by the government or by large institutions, which is why cryptocurrency, NordVPN, Luxout, all these things that we talk about on a daily basis all come together into that philosophy of financial sovereignty. By the way, your last live video had a lot of scam comments about buying a Amazon coin. I know, I cannot figure out what to do with this. I've just kind of thrown my hands up at this point. There's so many. YouTube has got to come in and do something about all these scam comments. It's absolutely ridiculous. YouTube is a multi-hundred-billion-dollar company, and they can't figure that out. They've got to. My mission is to get wealthy and be able to donate and help the poor and helpless. Our mission is relatively similar. We're trying to build wealth, and we're trying to build wealth that we would have more resources to help. You know, ultimately, if you're faithful in little, you'll be faithful in much. And so if we're faithful in little and the Lord blesses us with more, then great. And if he doesn't, that's okay too. We have surrendered our outcomes, but we are going to make the effort. Put it that way. Back to the office today. Missed the beginning of the show, but here now, 2024, rocketing to the moon, Satchet said. Absolutely. It's going to be a great, great, great year. I think it's going to be a wonderful year so long as we invest in our own education and in financial sovereignty and also in your security. Make sure to sign up for NordVPN if you haven't already. There's a huge discount going on. You're going to miss out on a NordVPN if you're not getting it now. You're going to want it. You do not want to make $57,000 in the bull market and lose it to a hacker. You don't want that to happen. Don't put yourself at a greater risk than is necessary of hacking because you didn't want to spend $150 or so on a 2-year plan at NordVPN. That would be unwise right there. That's why I like the sponsors down below. If you look at the sponsors down below and the affiliates, they are all examples of wisdom. Now, some of them, like the exchanges and whatnot, you have to use wisdom to use them correctly. They're simply a platform, but they're going to help you. and it's wise to have them. It is wise to invest in your education through CT2A or somewhere, even if it's not CT2A. I personally think it's the best place you're going to find for technical analysis in crypto. But if you find something better, then you know what? Tell me, because I'm going to beat them. But then also use wisdom and invest in your education. Lux Algo is going to help you figure out where the market's going next so you can make good trades and investments. That's wise. I remember, let me just tell you something. I was in 8th grade homeroom. I was in 8th grade homeroom. I don't know if I've ever told the story on chat. I was in Miss Marlowe's class. I was in 8th grade homeroom. Like a mile from here, actually, because I live right next to my middle school that I went to. And I just remember having this. Have you ever had one of these moments? Many of you guys will probably say yes to this. This could have been nothing. It could have just been nothing. But I just specifically remember many people around that time had told me that I was wise for my age. And I just remember sitting there, and this word, wisdom, just came over me. Like, man, what is that? Boom. And it just felt like I had a calling. I have never experienced this before. I'm 13 years old. Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. Just boom. I just got like smacked upside the face with the word wisdom. Like, what is this? Where is this coming from? I've got no idea what this means. But I just remember thinking my life is going to be in the direction of wisdom and teaching other people wisdom. This is 10 years ago. This is almost 11 years ago. This is before I'd ever started a YouTube channel. I take that back. I had a gaming channel I was working on right then. I was making videos. They were getting like 3 views, right? But I remember it just hit me. Wisdom. There's something about that word. When people say you're wise for your age, and people still say that 10 years later. When people say you're wise for your age, I was sitting in homeroom. I will never forget this. Every hair on my body stood up. It was just goosebumps everywhere. Whoa, what just happened? Wisdom. And I was like, man, I'm not wise at all. I'm a stupid little 13-year-old. Well, not stupid, but I'm a unwise little 13-year-old, right? What does this mean? And I've never forgotten that. There was something, I don't know. It could have just been a weird, I have no idea what it was. But it was interesting. It was interesting. Good words, kind sir, to steer the ship by. That's my goal, is to help you guys steer the ship. I'd pay good money to see those gaming videos. It'd be money wasted. They're still on YouTube, if you can find them. Oh, man. I had an intro and everything. I can't switch over there. I can't switch because I took them down years ago because I knew, because I took them down years ago when we had tens of thousands of people watching. So I'm like, we got enough people watching that someday somebody's going to find this video and they're going to hear my little squeaker 13-year-old voice and this stupid intro that I made. And it's going to, like, somehow it's going to make headline news. Crypto Jab's gaming channel from his youth found. Look at his voice. He sounds like a 10-year-old Elvis Presley. Queen said wisdom equals knowledge applied. Good way of putting it. What do you think about SNEC? Meme coins on Cardano. Haven't looked at it too much yet. The thing that's hard for me about meme coins is that it's very difficult to actually analyze them. Because it's entirely down to public opinion, right? That is so hard. That is so difficult to analyze. So I'm not sure. I might get some of it. Thoughts on SNEC? I've heard of it, obviously. It's everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. I'm thinking about getting some of it. Were you playing Fortnite? No, this is before Fortnite. These videos were before Fortnite ever came out. Many years before Fortnite. So, let's wrap this up in a nice, neat bow and talk about where Bitcoin is going next. I do believe that we're going to see massive rallies on cryptocurrencies, and something that I know you guys are going to want to hear are price targets, so let's go ahead and give some of those. Bitcoin. And by the way, these are going to be relatively conservative price targets because just keep in mind, we have almost 60,000 people watch this channel every single week, and I don't want to set people up to fail because if I give a price target that's a little bit too high, then I might have people entering trades and they don't exit their trade, and then they get holding a bag because they were waiting for too high of a price target. So I'm giving you somewhat conservative price targets, but just keep in mind every number I'm going to give you here, I honestly think it's going to go a good bit higher than this, but this is where I think it's going to at least go to. I think the market's going to at least go to here. I think the Bitcoin's going to at least go to $100,000. I think Ethereum's going to go to at least $6,000. I think Solana's going to go to at least $250. I think Binance is going to go to at least $750. I think Cardano is going to go to at least $4. I think Avalanche is going to go to at least $140. I think that Polkadot's going to go to at least $50 or so. I think Polygon's going to go to at least, let's see here on Polygon, probably at least $4. Most of these things I'm saying at least is about 25% higher than all-time high on many of these. Tron, I think, is going to go to at least 40 cents. Chainlink, I think, is going to go to at least $60. ICP, I think, is going to go to at least 20. I'm not really convinced that it's going to do absolutely crazy this bull market. Litecoin, I think, is going to go to at least 150. That's not all-time high, not even close, but I'm a little bit unconfident on Litecoin right now. It might go back to all-time high. If it does, there's profit potential there. Let's see what else. Kaspa, I think Kaspa is going to kill it this bull market. I'm trying to get some. I think Kaspa is going to absolutely dominate. I think Kaspa could go to 50 to 75 cents. Let's see here. Near, I think is going to be a good pick for this bull market. Wasn't really has a lot of room to grow. Its all-time high is at $20. I think it will at least go back and recapture all-time high. I think you're going to see at least 5x from here on many of these different projects. And so if you're in the market right now, one of the takeaways that you could have is that Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies, the altcoins, are likely going to go through massive rallies. And when they go through massive rallies, you're going to wish that you had built an investment portfolio. That's why right now we're going to talk about the fact that we need to be dollar cost averaging into cryptocurrencies. We're dollar cost averaging right now into various cryptocurrencies in the top 30. Many of them you guys already know, most everything in the top 30. And so we're building that portfolio. That position is doing very well right now. That position is up over 10%. Some of the assets in there are up almost 50%. Our Solana, for example, is up, like our average cost basis is, I've got it right here, $72.57. We are up about 50% on that, obviously. Similar thing with our internet computer. Our internet computer is almost doubled from where we bought it. Our Cardano is up about 15% from where we bought it. A lot of great gainers here. So very excited about where the market's going to go. And if we're buying into our altcoin position right now, then you're going to be in good shape. All right, ETF can be approved today? Yes, it can be approved today. If it was approved today, you think it'll be around 12 noon Eastern? I'm not sure. I think that they would. I was talking about that this morning. I think that if they approve it, it'll be during the workday while market's open. But to be honest with you, SEC might wait until market close so that the market can digest it before the new. So that the market can digest it before the market open on stock market. We'll see. How much did you make last bull run? I'm not gonna give you the exact number, but it was a couple. It was in the seven figures. We one, not including not including. Now you got to realize we had about a $65,000 a month payroll back then. We have a much smaller payroll now because I've figured out how to lean things down substantially. But back last year we made, not last year, sorry, 2020 in reported income. That's not including investment income. All right, let's see here. Now again, remember, we had a very, very, very large payroll, so that wasn't profit, but it was well over $1 million. And on taxes, it was about, I want to say 983, but that wasn't including different things that, yeah, there was a good bit of revenue there. I'm not really that shy about that. Some people are really concerned about, oh gosh, what if my audience figures out how much money I make? I don't exactly go out of my way to say that number, but I don't really care all that much because I know what I'm doing is with integrity. I'm not trying to hurt you guys. We only take sponsors that help you guys. I'm not being sponsored by like gambling protocol. I'm not being sponsored by coins. I'm careful on taking exchange sponsorships. I only take exchange sponsorships from exchanges I really trust. I take like wallet sponsorships, like LuxAlgo. LuxAlgo is awesome. It's going to make you money. Just buy it. It's links down below. CT2A. I cannot tell you how many hundreds of emails I've gotten from people that have gone through CT2A and said, you know what? I learned technical analysis, used it to make life-changing wealth. My life's better now. I love my job because we have a very high income ceiling, but at the same time, I get to do it by helping people. It's not like I'm selling Coke and I'm making people like overweight. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm in a business that is very lucrative, but it's also very lucrative by helping people. That was always my dream, was to build a large business, helping people, make a good bit of money doing that so that I have more money to turn around and help people with. That was always the dream. From day one, hour zero, that was the dream. And I'm here to tell you dreams can come true, but it takes consistent effort. It takes not giving up. And it also takes understanding the dream and the why behind the dream so clearly that you can vocalize it to the people that are the naysayers, because sometimes the naysayers will end up becoming your biggest advocates if you, the dreamer, can articulate the dream in such a way that it makes sense to the people that need to hear it. But like I said, I'm not ashamed or scared to tell you guys that we've done very well. This is an award from Teachable for making over $1 million in revenue on CT2A. I mean, it says it right here. We got this a few years ago. I don't know if that will focus because I'm in the shot. Let's see if I move over here if it'll focus and you can read that. See? So, I'm not saying any of that to brag. I'm also not ashamed of it because we've done that by helping people. You know what I mean? So, and look, I'll tell you what, I made a lot of stupid decisions with some of that money. One of the things that I'm actually very thankful for is that I made a lot of money very quickly, and I was not the best steward of a lot of it. I thought I was being, but there was a lot of ways that I made some dumb decisions with it, and I was not the best steward of it. And so those lessons, some of those lessons have cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I'm very glad I have them because I am now in a good position to actually help people. Let's see. All right, let's read a little bit more chat, and then we're going to wrap it out. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Integrity Farms. You live in Integrity Farms. I get it. I got it. To Gritty Farms. All right, let's read some chat here. And by the way, guys, that's all possible to you guys. That's all possible. It has never been easier to start a YouTube channel in crypto if you wanted to do that. It's never been easier to figure out how to invest in the cryptocurrency space. It's never been easier to get in the crypto markets. But I'll tell you what, if I could go back and change one thing about my journey in crypto, it would be how I managed the money that I made. Because you can make millions of dollars and then not be the best steward of it and then lose it because you were trying to be generous with it. There's a lot of money that I gave away or decisions I made in the spirit of being generous. And I'm not talking about the tens of thousands of dollars that we gave to Life for the Innocent, for example. I'm not talking about the tens of thousands of dollars that we've given to all kinds of different charities. Life for the Innocent, for example, look them up. They help get children out of sex slavery in India. I think it's about $1,500 is the average cost to get one kid out of there, placed into a Christian family and adopted. Like we were able to give tens of thousands of dollars to them. I have one of their coffee mugs in our pantry. Don't regret any of that, not in the slightest. But there were a lot of decisions I made that I've learned from, and I'm gradually going to continue to teach those over the course of my life. The last 5 years of my life have been very, very formative, and I will never stop teaching them to anybody who will listen. What will happen to the crypto exchanges after the ETF gets approved? Might money flow out to traditional brokers, or are they at risk? A lot of people have been worried about that. I don't think so. And the reason is the ETF is not really... Show of hands. Give me a 1 in chat if you're actually going to buy the Bitcoin ETF. I'm not. That's not me. I'm not the target market. I've got no interest in that. I've got my Bitcoin in a cold wallet, right? The people that are going to be buying the Bitcoin ETF are the people that are, the people that are going to be buying the Bitcoin ETF are the people that probably aren't buying it right now. I'm not touching it. I might, but why? My tax advantage retirement accounts, I'm sticking that in the stock market. I'm just not doing that in crypto. I don't have a 40-year outlook on anything in crypto except Bitcoin. So I guess I could do a little bit of purchasing for that in a retirement account, but why? There's just no reason. You see what I mean? Like everybody in chat saying, nope, I'm not buying it. Kunky Bunk said, nope. Josh Denham said, nope. Sherv92 said, nope. Nope, the fee will be silly. Exactly. I'm not buying it. I have my coins in my Ledger Nano wallets. Exactly. We are the people that founded the space. We've got a better way to invest in than the average bloke. Buy the asset directly, Josh Denham said. All you guys are saying that in chat. And it's true. Why would you? But now think about if you didn't know what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was. Most of you guys that are saying that, statistically speaking, from what I know about our channel analytics, are likely between the age of 30 and 50. You're more than likely a man, and you more than likely reside in the United States. That profile, generally speaking, has a retirement account. Generally speaking, has a 401k or a Roth IRA or something, and generally speaking, would have access to type in fidelity.com and go buy the ETF in the next 10 minutes if it were accessible. It's probably accessible for you. Now tell me, bunch of nopes in chat. Now tell me how many of you guys in chat would be able to go buy the Bitcoin ETF if you wanted to within, say, an hour. Maybe you got to go find maybe you haven't been in there in a year. Maybe you got to go find a password. You got to figure out, oh man, is it fidelity.com or is it fidulity.com? Where do I go? I forgot. Maybe you're not the most active in it, but how many of you guys would be perfectly capable of going and buying the Bitcoin ETF within an hour? Pretty much all of you are going to say yes to that. Well, now think about if you've never heard of Bitcoin before and you're a noob as far as Bitcoin's concerned, and you just had Thanksgiving 2 months ago, and some rando named Jeb walks up and says, hey, you should consider buying some Bitcoin. And you say, well, how do you do that? And I say, well, first you got to go log on to Coinbase, and you got to do KYC, then you got to do that, and I lost you. Forgot about that. I'm not doing that. That takes too long. But now you had that conversation. It's 3 months later. The Bitcoin ETF gets approved. And you're like, wait a minute. That dude said I can make money in Bitcoin. I can go on Robinhood and click a button and I have it. Done. How many people in the United States are sold? I'm holding a tech deck, by the way. Who remembers these? My wife always wanted a tech deck for Christmas. How many of you guys, that completely threw me off. How many of you guys, if you did not know about Bitcoin, would be much easier to get into Bitcoin because of the ETF? Most people would be able to get into the ETF much easier than all the other hoops that you jump through. And they're relatively lower barrier to entry than they used to be. It's easier to get Bitcoin now than it was 10 years ago. It's going to be way easier with an ETF. And then people will probably turn around and they'll probably get Bitcoin themselves and actually get into the ecosystem. So you got to give it a few years to really work. It's not something that is good. It's kind of like this channel. This channel, we've had $250,000 months. But you know what? When I started the YouTube channel, we were not making $250,000 a month. And we don't always make $250,000 a month, but we've done that before. We were not doing that. I made $0.00 every month for 8 months. Didn't make a penny. Not a penny. Not a single penny. I have 2,000 subscribers. No sponsor was interested in that. That was actually, worth anything. That was actually integral. CT2A hadn't been launched yet. Channel wasn't monetized. We were making zero. I worked on it every day, 7 days a week. I don't mean 5. I mean 7 days a week, every single day for 8 months. Not a penny. The ETF could be like that. It could be one of those things where it's got a terrible launch, and then a year from now, boom, million people are using it. We'll see. Will governments kill crypto by making up new taxes that make it worthless, e.g. having 60% tax, for example? I don't think so, because the governments would make a lot more money taxing it the way they tax the stock market, because they wouldn't be because killing it would cut off the revenue stream. It's a little bit like why do governments not just ban cigarettes? Because because they tax the hell out of it. They make so much money. Well, at the same time telling people stop buying cigarettes. At the same time they're putting gigantic taxes on it, and they are making bank. My Fidelity Retirement is advertising cryptos on his website. Yep, it's coming. Feeding the 5,000 said, yo, fingerboard, bro. Right there. My wife always wanted one of these as a kid. And I said, you know what? It's not about the size of the gift. It's about the thought that counts. So that's all she got for Christmas. I'm just kidding. She got a bunch of other stuff for Christmas. But I got that for her. Oh, man. Already have some retirement in GBTC and ETH. Right. If my company would allow me to invest in Bitcoin via my 401k, that would be great. That's why I'm hoping for the ETH ETF to pass. Yes, and there are some of you guys that would probably do that. I work for myself, so I don't have a 401k set up, although I am thinking about setting up a company 401k just for the sake of different ways that you can play the tax system legally that'll make you some money or save you some money. I'm thinking about doing that, but I even looked into that with Fidelity. I'm waiting on a response back from them. Actually, I got the response back from them. I need to look into that, but a lot to do there. But yeah, guys, bullishness is coming, and I'm really excited for this coming year. If you guys want to learn more about how to become financially sovereign this year, then I just really want to encourage you to sign up for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. I've got a lot of course content coming that I want to work on. I'm going to teach you guys about how to become financially sovereign, and CT2A is the place to be to get that. If you've not already signed up for CT2A, the link's in the description box down below. You can get access to it for $347 a year, or you can get access to it with lifetime for $997. I did just enable Affirm payment, so if you want to do lifetime access with installments, you can do that. You can click that button right there. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave that on there because it is a form of debt, I guess, kind of. Not sure if I'm really the biggest fan of that, but if you want to do it with payments, you can do that if you would like. But pretty excited about everything that's going on in CT2A. A lot of content's going to be coming, and I just can't wait for it. Lefty Sheffy said, how long is the course? 45 videos, about 10 hours of content right now, and the catalog is going to be expanding pretty soon. Working on getting some editing capacity so that I can do some more content in here, but I'm thinking about maybe just making the videos a little bit simpler on the editing front just to get them out there, because ultimately you guys aren't there for fancy editing. You guys are there for content, so that's really the only thing that's been stopping me from putting more content in there. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it, and then if we want to go back and do some more fancy editing, then we might just keep the files and then go back and do that. But very excited about where CT2A is going. If you guys haven't already signed up, I would encourage you to do so. As we said, we've got over 5,000 students that have gone through CT2A. It's been a wild success in cryptocurrency for years, and I'm very excited about where it's going to go. Also, don't forget to sign up for Lux Algo. Lux Algo is absolutely killing it, as always, and don't forget, pretty soon you're going to be getting access to a proprietary indicator from Lux Algo themselves, because Lux Algo and I have partnered together to create a technical indicator for you that will only be accessible to Lux Algo subscribers that are using our link. So sign up for Lux Algo with the link in the description box down below and get access to that indicator that is coming soon. And also, don't forget to sign up for NordVPN using the link in the description box down below. That's nordvpn.com/Jeb, and get access to a 2-year plan for a little under $200 and protect yourself for the entire bull market from hackers, and browse the internet safely and freely for the entire bull market for like $200. Comes out to like $5 a month. It's nothing. All right, it's less than $200 actually, I think. Huge discounts going on over there right now. Browse the internet safely and freely, and do it all with NordVPN with the link in the description box down below. We're about 20 minutes over, but I've really been enjoying talking to you guys, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it out. Can you create a Lux Algo tutorial? Yes, I think I am going to do that. A lot of things I want to do. A lot of videos I want to make, and so we're going to be getting to work on that. Shadrach Frost said, Lefty Sheffy said, there are countless hours, plus you can revisit as many times as you want. Well worth the investment. Thank you so much for that, Shadrach. Shadrach Frost has been a long time member of CT2A, and I'm also pretty excited. This is preliminary. I'm going to look into getting this set up, but Teachable actually just launched a community feature. Oh, man, I've been waiting for that for almost half a decade now. Gonna see if I can get that set up. It's like a forum-based system. So we're gonna look into that for CT2A members. I think you guys will really like that. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it out. Before we do, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.